Matt Schifferly for RedDeltaProject.com with an interesting perspective on how you can work your chest muscles more effectively while making it safer and easier on your shoulder joints. Now, when we're looking at the chest muscles in particular, your bigger pectoral muscles, we recognize that there's the insertion point on your humerus, okay? And then the origin is all over the place here along your sternum and even up in your clavicle a little bit. So naturally, like all muscles, it gets worked by bringing the insertion and origin points closer together, which is primarily adduction of the humerus. Goes out to the side and inwards, as you can see from the balloons making their stretch. So that's why you come across this idea a lot when it comes to working your chest is focus on the adduction of the humerus, bringing it out, like wide push-ups, wide dips, get those elbows out. And it's not a bad idea, and it certainly isn't wrong because it's very effective. But it comes with one simple caveat, which is that when we're doing this, there's potentially a lot more stress and strain on our shoulder joint. And in the martial arts, we use this type of position to hurt our opponent. We have arm bars, we've got all sorts of ways we can crank and really cause a lot of shearing stress on the shoulder. And it's not always there, but it is potentially there. And your brain naturally thinks, okay, stress in a joint, decrease the neurological drive to work your muscles more effectively. Your brain will always inhibit your neurological drive if there's pain or even discomfort there. And one of the best ways to make your muscles work harder is to make your joints more comfortable. Now, this idea that your muscles work to adduct your arm is certainly true, but it's also a little bit short-sighted because what it's doing is it's assuming that we only use our muscles in one plane of movement. That's the frontal plane. But we also, of course, have the sagittal plane, front to back. And it's not even just that, because we don't move in just one plane of movement, kind of like if we have a blocky torso, like a Lego minifigure. But of course, your torso, if you look down from the top, it's not square or blocky. It's round, it's oval and circular, which means that your chest muscles not only work for adduction, but also flexion, because it's wrapping your chest muscles around your torso. So that's why my approach has long been, instead of focusing on this to optimize your chest muscles, pull your arm back and then forward and slightly inwards at the same time. Now you have flexion and adduction at the same time, which can potentially bring more workload to your muscles, especially if you're using things like single arm based training or working out on unstable equipment like gymnastics rings or my suspension straps. Because now what you're doing is whenever you do single arm or unstable training, gravity makes you want to make your arm go out. And you have to keep constant tension in your chest to maintain adduction. So instead of causing adduction primarily, we're maintaining adduction while using flexion. So we're using the chest muscles to provide tension in multiple applications, not just one. This not only can potentially make your chest work a hell of a lot harder, it's also a lot safer on your shoulder joint. Because if this in the martial arts is about, ow, it's hurting my shoulders, if you want to protect yourself, you keep it in tight. You keep yourself tight and secure, producing more security here, removing that neurological handicap that prevents you from working just that extra little bit harder in order to make your muscles work a lot more. This perspective really changed how I trained my chest, and it also took a lot of stress off of my shoulders. It was a total game changer for me, and I hope it can be for you as well. If you want to learn more about my push-up techniques, check out videos here, and of course, always thoughts and comments welcome down below that I respond to as well. So then be fit, live free.